Hi there, welcome to Sisters for Fi. My name is Catherine Agapjan, and here at Sisters for Financial Independence, we help you manage your money better so you can live a life of impact today and tomorrow. Today's topic is all about student loans. More specifically, 10 ways to reduce your student loan debt. Student loan debt continues to be a challenge for many Americans. Now, there's a new administration starting in the White House, and hopefully, Congress will step in to help alleviate some of the pain that student loans are causing families and especially the future finances of the next generation. But today, I want to show you how you can take control and help you with some ideas to eliminate or reduce your student loan debt. Admittedly, it's been a few years since I've been in college, and when I did graduate over 10 years ago, I had $20,000 worth of student loan. I was a little bit lucky because I was able to live with my parents after I graduated to save money, and I was also able to use one of these tips to help me pay for grad school, which reduced and actually eliminated all of my student loan debt for grad school. All right, first tip is a tried and true is scholarships. And this is probably in all the list of how to reduce debt, but I think it's worth mentioning because many of us, and I know especially me when I was in high school, I didn't really think too much about scholarships. I was busy doing so many other activities, working, and I just thought that, hey, I'll figure out how to pay for school later on. But I think the one thing that we want to look at when it comes to scholarships is that even a little amount, even if it's $250 or $500, can go a long way to reducing debt in the future. The biggest challenge with student loan debt is the fact that you are basically taking your present income to pay for the past. So instead of you being able to use your present income to pay for the present lifestyle or to save for the future, you're paying for the past, and that really cramps the way you live in the present. So I would encourage you to really look and search for scholarships. Get out of the box when it comes to scholarships. Think asking if your parents' workplaces have scholarships. Maybe aunts and uncles have a workplace scholarship that'd be open to you as a family member. Think outside the box when it comes to that. Or it could be that this would be the first year that someone else's workplace will have a scholarship in place and you'll be the first person to receive it. So be open and create a system for yourself when applying for scholarships, whether that's reusing essays or really have an application process in place so that you can save time but still be able to take advantage of all of the available money out there for you to use for school. All right, the second way that you can help reduce your student loan debt is to finish school early. This is actually something that you may not have thought about, especially if you're thinking you're going to go for a 4-year degree. Well, there are so many things that you can do before you even enter college to get some credits up ahead, whether that's AP or taking a class at a community college, and maybe graduating a semester early or even a year early will save you a few $1,000s in the student loan debt and get you at the workforce that much faster. So consider if you will finish your major early, that you graduate early so that you don't have to take on more debt for things that aren't necessarily part of the things that you want to work towards. The third option is to check if your employer has an employee benefit where they offer tuition reimbursement. This is somewhat common in larger corporations, but it doesn't hurt to ask. If you work for a small company, you could be the first person to ask and get something like this. It is normally called a tuition reimbursement, where they offer to pay your tuition directly if you complete a degree related to your work or your position. This is the tip that helped me save $60,000 in graduate student loans. The employer that I was with actually had a program to send a few of us to get our master's degree, and I was able to take advantage of this opportunity, which helped me not only get a master's degree basically for free, but it also increased my ROI and worth in the market. So consider this as an option. If it's not there yet, ask and see what's possible for you. The fourth option is to work part-time. See if there are opportunities within the school or outside the school that will allow you to gain some experience as well as earn some money. Now, part-time work may seem a lot, especially if you are carrying a full academic workload, but consider it as more of a building your resume and experience type. And when what you earn, instead of perhaps maybe going for that money to be going towards just like extracurricular activities, consider using it to pay down any debt that you've borrowed or reduce any debt that you will acquire. And again, if this is small, like $100, $200, that can go a long way from really changing the lifestyle of your future self. The fifth option is to consider online programs. Now, I am recording this video in the age of Zoom. So at this point in time, many of us and students are familiar with taking classes online. But there's also a lot of classes online that have been there for a while. So it might be worthwhile to consider taking an online class instead of pursuing an in-person degree. Now, this does require some research, and it still will cost money, but it could be half of what you're paying if you were in person. If you are considering a degree in a technical field, consider taking an online class through General Assembly, Treehouse, Pluralsight. There's a lot of these companies and programs that cater specifically to technical degrees, and even people that want to pursue like a second calling. So keep that in mind as you kind of search for what kind of future education you want for yourself. Before I share the next tip, I just want to remind you to subscribe if you aren't already doing so. We'll release out more content in the next few weeks relating to this topic, as well as other ways to help you manage your money better. And again, so you can live a life of impact today and tomorrow. We don't want debt to keep you where you are. We want to make sure that you are earning the income that you deserve and that you're building wealth, not only for yourself, but for your family, as well as for your community. So subscribe, Sisters for Fi, and also if this video, you love this video, make sure you like it as well, and we'll share some additional videos here so that you can have access to additional content. The sixth option is to look at your side hustles. What can you do in your spare time to earn money, to pay for school, but also gain some experience? Now, in the age of the internet, this can be fairly easy if you maybe act as a freelancer online or do some things that doesn't take up a lot of your time. The goal with your side hustle should be increase your income to help pay for current needs, so you're not taking on debt for your current needs, as well as to gain some experience in maybe industries or fields that you normally wouldn't be exposed to. The seventh option is to go abroad. Now, unfortunately, the US is one of the most expensive educational systems in the world, so it might be interesting and possible if you hold dual citizenship or can get a second citizenship, that you pursue a degree or a graduate degree in another country. And it can save you money, especially if you have some dollars that you can use to pay for the type of tuition, or if they have some benefits for citizens to reduce student loans and or provide future education. The ninth option is to get your family to help you, and this can be in many forms. First thing, if you are watching this and you have some time before you go to college, it might be good to fund a 529 plan, which is an educational plan that allows you to grow money tax-free as long as it's used to pay for educational expenses. That's an option. Perhaps instead of getting gifts or getting cash, requesting that family members kind of contribute to your future. Another option that might be also interesting and worth looking into is to see if there's a family member who might be willing to let you borrow money from them. And you'll have to set up an agreement for this to make sure that you are diligent in paying it off and have kind of the means to create an agreement like this. But it could save you a lot of money actually, since you and your family member would agree to like the interest rate, and you won't necessarily be paying whatever private companies or the federal government has set for the student loan rate. And the only thing that I would just caveat with this is that if you do go this route, you can save money, but not having this type of loan on your credit report or credit history could hurt you down the line. So keep it in mind, but consider it. And then if you would do that, consider other ways to create a robust credit history so you can again save your money better down the future. The ninth option is to get realistic. So it is 2020 and there are so many opportunities out there. If you are willing to look and work hard to figure out what type of options there are for you to not only advance your education, but make money. And this is important. For years, we've been told that college is the only solution, but sometimes the challenge student loan debt can really put a person in a financial strait, reducing their ability to do more because they're financially strained. So reconsider if college is the option, if the cost of college is worth it, and it might mean taking a year off to figure that out, figure what you want to do out of life, and get you a plan in place so that when you do graduate college, you are not up to your knees in these student loans. The last option I will share with you is a little bit of an unconventional tip, but something that we should all be doing anyways, is to reach out to our Congress representatives, because in case you didn't know, Congress sets a lot of the rules, the interest rates for student loan debt, and the future really of our students. And we need to let them know what we want out of this so they can create the rules and the policies in place to help future students and future families either reduce or eliminate student loan debt. So be proactive and get your voice heard with your rep. Right. Lastly, I want to share some other resources to help you. If you are a parent or a student, check out the Facebook group College Board to understand the process of college and how to pay for it. Remember that FAFSA is an important form to fill out for college, so take a look at that. Look up for scholarships, all scholarships, whether it's $25 to $20,000, $30,000. Make sure you consider all of them based on perhaps what the time you have and what you can do to make sure your application stands out and gets there. And the last thing too is that if you are pursuing financial independence for yourself as for your kids and future generation, I would also look into some other ways to college hack. Like, what are some ways to reduce the cost of college that may not be shared wisely and readily by people? So keep an open mind when it comes to that. Again, a 4-year degree is the conventional way of doing things. 4 years, maybe with $20,000, $30,000 worth of student loan debt, but it doesn't have to be that way. So keep an open mind about what's possible and explore all these avenues and paths to really reduce or eliminate that debt, because the sooner you reduce or eliminate that debt, the better for you overall, because it means that any money you make today can be used to live in the present, but also to live and save for the future. And that's an important aspect that we need to be aware of.